Hi Vine community, I'm back again to do the same thing as I did yesterday because it was so much, I had so much joy doing that video. I'm still homesick and I'm lying here on the couch and playing some records, and I continue to venture through my jazz collection. So if you didn't like the video yesterday, this may be not your cup of tea. So today I wanted to start with, I'm gonna associate the records and artists to go through 11 records through my collection. And I started with Mingus this time, Black Saint and the Scintillator from 1963 on Impulse Records. This is a classic, so and I really wanted to play this. This is one of those like 30-50 records in my collection that I often play. Seems like they are always pulled from the collection. So 1963. Where do we go from here? The piano by Jackie Bayard is really interesting, and I tried to look up what I had by Jackie Bayard, and I realized that Jackie Bayard also plays on the Ronald Kirk record, and this is called Rip, Rig and Panic, and this was recorded in 1965. So Jackie Bayard plays with Ronald Kirk on this one. Now on drums we have Elvin Jones on this one. But I just want to say before I leave this record, it's a fantastic session, and especially Ronald Kirk's sound on this one is fantastic. So highly recommended. But as I said, Elvin Jones is playing on this one. And could you find a more classic record that Elvin is playing on than A Love Supreme by John Coltrane? I don't think so. This was also recorded in 1965, so you have the same year for Elvin, both playing with Coltrane and Ronald Kirk. As I said, a classic. I ended up playing the entire second side on the first record. This is the 3 LP set remastered, limited, blah blah blah. You know the deal. Now, to go from this, I had to cheat a little bit. It's still association, but not directly associated with this particular record, because I didn't want to stick with the John Coltrane ensemble per se from 1965. So I went with Rashid Ali, and as we all know, Rashid Ali played with John Coltrane in his later period before his death. Rashid Ali, the drummer. So I actually picked Rashid Ali, and mostly because I really wanted to play Duo Exchange. It's such a fantastic record. So you have Rashid Ali playing drums and Frank Lowe playing sax. Just a magnificent and a pretty well-made reissue, though I would really want an original press of this. This should be heard as an original. They're expensive, but not out of this world expensive. And I'll try to find one. This is a little bit up there in the like a higher pitch. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, a classic one. And this was from 1973. So in 1973, Frank Lowe also played on Don Cherry record called Relativity Suite. And this was, I don't know if this was like a side thing that he did to his Swedish work. I don't know, but you have some amazing players on here. Carla Bley, Pat Dixon, Charlie Hayden, Ed Blackwell, Paul Motion, Mocky Cherry doing the tambra, and Frank Lowe, as I said. So from this one, I went with Ed Blackwell on drums, and that didn't get me that far from Don Cherry actually, not far at all. I went to something else by Ornette Coleman, his first solo record, or not solo record, but his debut record on Contemporary Records, 1958, I think. So without going too much into Ornette Coleman from here, and this is also a fantastic record. This is more like down to earth against his later period, or not later, but the records he recorded after this. Very easy to listen to and get into. But on this one, you also have Billy Higgins playing the drums. So I went with Billy Higgins. And Billy Higgins also plays on a very good record, surprisingly good record, called the Cecil Taylor and Bull Nedlinger's New York City R&B, where you also have, these are, I think, 2 sessions or 3 sessions with Archie Shepp, Clark Terry, Steve Lacy, Russell Rudd, Don Cherry, Charles Davis, Dennis Charles, and Billy Higgins. And it's recorded in some lofts in 1961 in New York City on 119th West and 57th Street. This is awesome, and I'm connecting this to Bull Nedlinger on the bass. So I play the first song on the first track called OP, and it's a tribute to Oscar Peterson. Really, really good. The bass playing is fantastic, and it's cheap. Check this out. It's highly, highly, highly recommended. So, going with Bull Nedlinger, I actually wanted to hear Cecil Taylor's piano. You don't need to buy that if you want a good Cecil Taylor record. He's good on it, but he's not the best one. There's better Cecil Taylor records like this. And Bull Nedlinger plays the bass on this one also, looking ahead, from 1959. But there wasn't many players to go through after this. As I said, Bull Nedlinger plays bass, Dennis Charles on drums, and Earl Griffith on vibraphone. So I connected this with the Contemporary Records label, and I researched what I had of Contemporary. I had a lot of Ornette Coleman, but I actually also had a 1989 release of a 1960 recorded record called At the Renaissance by Ben Webster. Now you have Jimmy Rolls, Jim Hall, Red Mitchell, and Frank Butler on this one. And it's actually really, really good. I played their version of Georgia on My Mind. 6, almost 7 minute long version of that. Very smooth. Cool version of it. This is not, the best jazz record ever recorded, but it's a cool little piece, not too expensive. So recommended for all you slow mood kind of jazz fans out there. And Red Mitchell. Now I knew that I could take this from where we started to Sweden. So I wanted to travel to Sweden. And we do that via Afro Temple with Savo Martinez. This was not recorded in Sweden, but it has a lot. Or is it recorded in Sweden? Maybe it's recorded in Sweden. Yeah, maybe it's recorded in Sweden. Okay, sorry, I don't know. But a lot of Swedish music. I think it's recorded in Sweden. A lot of Swedish musicians on this one. And Savo Martinez played a lot with contemporary artists back in the day, like Cornelis Vreeswijk. He has done the liner notes for this. But on saxophone you also have Bernt Rosengren, and that's the place where we end our journey. Because I needed a reason to pull out my Notes from the Underground from 1974. This is a masterpiece, and it's playing in the background. It's fantastic. And I have my tickets for when I saw Bernt Rosengren live here in my town, and this is actually also signed by Bernt. And he is getting very old now. I don't know if he's up there in his 80s, but he didn't look too well when he played. He looked like an old man. So I don't know how long he will be with us. But Notes from the Underground is, probably top 10 of the best Swedish jazz records ever released. I really do think so. Not just my opinion, but I think the general public's opinion. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's amazing, really, really good, and it has some killer player on it. Savo Martinez is on this one also, but Bobo Stensson, Tommy Coverhult, Torbjörn Hultkrantz, Okay Tamis, Mafalai, yeah, and it goes on. Really good. Really, really good. So that's it. That's all from me. A short one, but just showing you some stuff that I played today. I'm gonna go rest again. Have a great day or evening, everyone.